Good days for Sweden are finally here. Magdalena Andersson has finally accepted her defeat in the general elections, and now conservatives are about to storm into power after a long haul. Conservatives have sworn to put Sweden back on track and shift the country's trajectory, which liberals have derailed over the past few years. What could this possibly mean for NATO, the EU, or even Sweden? Let's figure it out. Hello and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Vedika, and if you haven't subscribed to the TFI Global channel yet, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. And if you are watching us on Facebook, do consider following our page. The Swedish people have declared their mandate. According to NewsClick, the right-wing Sweden Democrats are now prepared to join the ruling coalition after a surprising election victory. According to a count by the country's elections authority, which covers 99.9% of voting offices, the four-party alliance would have taken a lead over the left with 176 seats, 73 of them going to the Sweden Democrats. With more than 21% of the vote, the Sweden Democrats are now the nation's second largest party. The vote share has pushed the party in a strong position to demand concessions in exchange for its support in the legislature. This election result represents a turning point in Sweden's history. Additionally, Stockholm's perspective on the EU, NATO, and so called liberal ideals may shift radically. Make no mistake, the election results in Sweden are definitely going to give the West sleepless nights. For years, Sweden has remained the most ethnically mixed nation since large-scale asylum-based immigration first began in the 1990s and accelerated sharply following the fall of the Arab Spring. But the upcoming right-wing wave looks to break this jinx on Stockholm. First off, Sweden Democrats describe itself as a nationalist party with an anti-immigration policy. The SD has been one of the major voices opposing immigration for a long time. The party labels migration as the primary cause behind the recent rise in gang and gun crime among second generation immigrant youth in Swedish cities. The party aims for zero asylum seekers, along with longer prison sentences and wider use of deportation. Their motion is a clarion call. SD would support open Swedishness, which means that anybody can become Swedish if they learn the language and adopt the culture. But the notion of a Swedish Muslim is not accepted. In addition, the Social Democrats also have a very stormy relationship with Brussels. The SD leader once made headlines for calling out Swexit. The matter was a hot potato between Sweden and the EU until the Sweden Democrats reversed their policy of calling for the country to follow Britain out of the EU. SD also aspires to transform the EU from the inside. This means that by supporting the RW faction that is emerging within the bloc, the Swedish RW is about to spur more tensions for liberal Brussels. Furthermore, Kurdish people are likewise extremely beloved by Sweden Democrats. The party is in favor of the establishment of an independent Kurdish state and the formal international recognition of the Armenian genocide. Thus, Turkey's desire to exterminate Kurds may also encounter a new roadblock. Sweden Democrats have also been charged with being affectionate to Russia. Sweden's Democrats have long been friendly towards Russian President Vladimir Putin. A week before the Ukraine invasion, when the party leader Jim Akeson was giving an interview with public broadcaster SVT about which leader he preferred US President Joe Biden or Putin, Akeson gave a kind of shaky answer. He replied, "It depends on the context." So, what exactly could happen to NATO's application once SD storms into power? That remains under suspicion. Sweden has given Akeson a chance to make Sweden great again. A new age has begun, and this history is in the making. Sweden has consistently maintained its positive reputation in the West, but Stockholm is about to turn into an apple of discord right now. Now just wait before Stockholm turns into a threat to democracy for the West.